This movie is about a girl who uses a time-traveling gadget to go to the past and solve a mystery. Once she arrives, she discovers shocking things she never could have imagined. What did she find out? And why did she travel back in time? Let's find out in this exciting story. The movie begins with a girl named Maya waking up suddenly when she hears someone knocking on her door. Curious and a little worried, she goes to check. Outside, she finds a man asking for her help. But as soon as she fully opens the door, the man unexpectedly apologizes and pulls out a shotgun. The scene then shifts to October 14th, 2033. We see people working at an orphanage called St. George. After finishing her shift, Maya removes something from her gas mask and hands it to a cleaner named John. This was the same day that the unknown man knocked on her door at night. The next morning, Maya reports the incident to the officers at the orphanage. She tells them that a man came to her room the previous night but was found dead from a gunshot wound. Then a woman named Angelica arrives to meet Maya. She tells her that they are investigating the incident from last night. Maya is surprised to learn that the people at the orphanage have not reported it to the police yet. Angelica then reveals something even more shocking. The man who came to Maya's room is still alive. She shows Maya a picture and asks if she recognizes the man, but Maya says she doesn't. Angelica then asks if he said anything to her. Maya hesitates, but eventually tells her that the man mentioned a woman named Samantha. Curious, Maya asks Angelica how she knew that the man spoke to her, but instead of answering, Angelica ignores the question and keeps pressing Maya to reveal exactly what the man said. She warns Maya that if her team hadn't been there, she would be dead by now. Despite the pressure, Maya refuses to say anything more. Frustrated and angry, Angelica finally gives up and storms out of the room. In the next scene, Maya looks at the time on her watch and quietly sneaks out of her room. She moves carefully, making sure no one sees her. She goes straight to John, who is waiting for her. Without wasting time, John starts removing a small tracker from Maya's foot, the same tracker that the people at the orphanage had placed on her to monitor her movements. Once the tracker is removed, they quickly head to a hidden room filled with computer monitors. Maya finally begins to explain what happened the night before. As she talks, the scene shifts to the past, to the year 2016. Maya is seen waking up in the middle of a forest, confused and scared. She has no clothes on and feels cold and weak. Nearby, she spots some clothes and bandages. She quickly puts them on and wraps a bandage around her injured hand. Unsure of where she is, she starts walking and soon sees a village in the distance. Back in 2033, John starts searching for Maya's records on the computer, but strangely, there is no information about her anywhere in the system. It's as if she doesn't exist. Maya, now more determined, asks him to search for Samantha instead, since that was the name the mysterious man had mentioned. John keeps searching and finally finds a secret file with limited information about Samantha. He discovers that a woman named Samantha was born in the year 2016. Maya immediately reacts, saying that she must be Samantha, and the orphanage must have put false details about her in the system to hide the truth. As John continues digging through the records, he suddenly finds a picture. His eyes widen in shock. It's the same man who had shown up at Maya's door last night with a shotgun. Meanwhile, in the year 2016, Maya continues walking until she meets a boy named Tyler. The moment he sees her, Tyler greets her as if they already know each other. But for Maya, this is the first time she has ever seen him. Tyler seems confused and asks if she has resolved the fight with her father, mentioning that she had gone to see him yesterday. Maya, unsure of what he means, hesitates but then replies, yes. Wanting more answers, she asks Tyler for her father's address. Tyler gives it to her but looks worried, wondering why she doesn't already know where her dad lives. Following the address, Maya arrives at the house of a man named Barry. When Barry opens the door, he looks at her suspiciously and immediately asks who she is and who she works for. Maya, confused, tells him she has no idea what he's talking about. Barry's expression changes. He steps forward cautiously, watching her closely. Sensing something is wrong, Maya firmly states, I know your real name is Barry Reed. The moment Barry hears this, his face fills with fear. Without warning, he panics and suddenly attacks Maya, hitting her with his truck. Back in 2033, John is working on the computer, searching for the coordinates of a location. After a few moments, he looks up at Maya and reveals something shocking. This place is not an orphanage. It's actually an organization called SID, a secret group that controls things through time travel. Maya is stunned. She starts piecing things together and suddenly says, what if the people from SID killed my parents? John shakes his head and replies, the SID organization doesn't kill people. They don't need to. What they do is erase memories. Hearing this, Maya begins to panic. Then maybe they erased my father's memory, she says, her voice trembling. Maybe they made me believe he was my enemy. And that's That's why Barry came to my room last night, to kill me. In 2016, a woman finds Maya injured and helps her. She also calls the police because Barry had hit Maya with his car. When the police arrive, Maya says she doesn't want to press charges, so they let Barry go. But then they arrest him anyway. Meanwhile, another version of Maya is secretly watching everything. After some time, this version of Maya also leaves. Years later, in 2033, Maya is with John and learns that he is building a time machine. She asks him to send her to the past so she can find out how she ended up in the orphanage. John refuses and tells her that Barry worked for the SID organization 20 years ago. Barry later discovered that SID was using time travel to control people, so he went against them. Then he suddenly disappeared, and no one knows why he visited Maya's room the night before. Maya then asks John how the time machine works. John shows her a stopwatch, which is actually the remote for the time machine. He explains that to travel through time, a drop of a person's blood must be placed on the watch, and the person must submerge themselves in water. The next day, Maya sneaks into John's room and tries to use the time machine, but John arrives just in time to stop her. He scolds her for acting recklessly. Maya pleads with him to let her travel to the past so she can learn about her own past and how she ended up here. After some hesitation, John finally agrees and begins preparing the time machine for her journey. Before sending her back, John warns Maya not to interfere too much with the timeline, or she could face serious consequences. He also gives her Barry's address in case she needs it. Meanwhile, Angelica finds out that someone from their orphanage is attempting to time travel. In the next scene, Maya arrives in the year 2016, where she meets Tyler. Tyler tries to talk to her, but she avoids him. Later, she sits alone and decides to use the remote to go back one more day in time. As soon as she activates it, she is transported to the previous day, only to find herself in the middle of a forest, completely. Meanwhile, Angelica discovers that John has sent Maya back to the year 2016. In the next scene, we see Maya in 2016, walking toward the city without any clothes. She sneaks into a clothing store, steals some clothes, and then heads toward Barry's house. On the way, she runs into Tyler and his friends. This is the first time Tyler is seeing Maya. Noticing the injury on her hand, he asks if she's okay. Maya simply replies, and Tyler invites her to hang out for a while. She agrees. At the same time, Leo, an agent of the SID organization, is watching Maya. Soon, Angelica arrives, and both of them continue to keep an eye on her. Tyler then takes Maya for a drive in his car. During the ride, Maya borrows $20 from him to buy new clothes and a bandage. After getting these, they drive to the forest, where Maya leaves the clothes and bandages there, knowing that her past self will soon arrive in this spot and need them. Later, Maya reaches Barry's house and starts searching inside. However, Barry hears the noise and realizes someone is there. He warns that he will find her and kill her. Maya hides and watches him carefully. Once Barry falls asleep, she tries to escape. But just as she's about to leave, the doorbell rings. It's her past self arriving to meet Barry. Just like before, Barry hits the past Maya with his car, while the present Maya secretly watches everything unfold. After the police arrive and arrest Barry, Maya searches Barry's car. Inside, she finds a shotgun, an old photograph with the year 1987 written on it, and several documents, which she starts examining. Meanwhile, Leo asks Angelica for permission to kill Maya, but Angelica hesitates. She tells him that something feels off. Maya shouldn't be killed. She has only come back to learn about her past and find her family. However, Leo insists that he just wants to eliminate her. Angelica refuses, saying they need to wait and see. Back at Barry's house, Barry returns home, only to find Maya pointing a gun at him. However, he quickly overpowers her and demands to know who she is and why she has broken into his house. Maya, thinking fast, tells him that her name is Samantha and that she is his daughter. Barry stares at her in shock before shaking his head. "That's not possible," he says. "You can't be my daughter. You're my granddaughter. Just last night, my son Roger had a baby girl." Maya is stunned. Barry asks why she is really here, and she explains that while looking through her records at the orphanage, she found something that linked her to him. That's why she came, to find answers. Hearing this, Barry immediately realizes the truth. Maya is a time traveler. His expression hardens as he tells her that if she's here, then the SID organization must have followed her. Just as he finishes speaking, there's a sudden knock at the door. Barry's face turns serious. "You need to leave. Now, if SID catches us, they'll wipe our memories so no one finds out about their time machine," he warns. "I just want to protect you." Before Maya can respond, the door bursts open and Leo storms in, trying to grab her. Maya reacts quickly, shoving past him and bolting toward the forest. Leo immediately chases after her, but as he runs, he suddenly clutches his head in pain. His vision blurs, and he collapses to the ground, groaning in agony. Maya runs straight to Tyler's place and begs him to take her to the city. Meanwhile, another SID agent sitting in a car with blood on his face, contacts Angelica and informs her that both Barry and Maya have escaped. As they drive, Maya decides to tell Tyler everything about time travel. At first, he doesn't believe her, thinking it's too crazy to be true, but seeing how desperate and shaken she is, he finally agrees to help. Later, Tyler takes Maya to Roger's house, her father's place. As they step inside, Maya is stunned to see herself as a newborn baby. Meanwhile, Angelica tries to reach Leo, but there's no response. When her agent goes to check, they find Leo lying dead in the forest. Realizing Maya is still on the run, Angelica gives the order to capture Tyler first. Soon after, Maya, her father Roger, and her family are caught by one of Angelica's agents outside the house. The agent then heads inside, and the scene abruptly cuts to black. In the next scene, Maya wakes up, tied to a chair in a large hall. She struggles against the ropes and shouts for them to let her go. Angelica steps forward and tells her, "We must not interfere with time." Maya is confused, but Angelica continues, explaining that she was only trying to stop Maya from going to the past so that the time loop would finally end. Then in a shocking twist, Angelica reveals the truth. She is Maya's older self. Maya stares in disbelief as Angelica hands her a key and whispers, "Run." With that, Maya frees herself, and the scene fades to black, ending the time travel movie. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you liked the video, don't forget to drop a like and a comment. And if you love our content, make sure to subscribe. I'll be back soon with another great movie recap. Until then, take care, and thanks for watching.